Welcome to the Earn More, Stress Less podcast with me, Caro Syson, and my co-host for this season 2, Hayley Hudson. This podcast is for self-employed business owners just like you who really want to grow their business and become successful and profitable and without all the stress and hassle. We want to share over 50 years of our business experience to show you how simple it can be to earn more money and how you can get organised without needing a business degree or any other qualification. We'll be talking about the easy steps that you can put in place right now to start earning more money today and to help you get the business that you deserve and dream of. So without further ado, let's get started. This week's podcast is sponsored by Pocket PA, helping self-employed business owners to get organised, understand their finances and do their accounts all in one place using a powerful online tool. If you're serious about making a profit and having a successful business, then using a simple digital app like Pocket PA is the best way to grow and scale your business. Visit pocketpa.com for more details and start managing your money like a pro today. Welcome to this week's Earn More, Stress Less podcast with me, Caro Syson, and my co-host, Hayley Hudson. Hello, Hayley.
Hi, how are you, Caro?
I am good, thank you. So I love this week's topic. It's something I talk about a lot. And when I published my book, Boss Your New Small Business, I did a whole chapter in my book on this subject that we're going to talk about today. So today, Hayley and I are going to talk about the differences between working in your business and working on your business. Now, often people haven't heard this phrase, like, what do you mean? What's working in your business? What's working on your business? What is the difference? So Hayley and I are here today to tell you the differences and the pros and cons of all of those things. So firstly, working in your business. Well, working in your business is the delivery of the service. It's sort of the doing stuff. And it's the day-to-day tasks which is actually involved in delivering your service to your clients. It's where you earn your money. So if you're a hairdresser, it would be like obviously cutting hair, highlights, all of those sorts of things, providing beauty treatments, whether you're managing your appointments. If you're a plumber, it'll be actually doing the stuff that you're getting paid for. So that's working in your business. And I think when you're a hands-on, a tradesperson or a professional, the operation of your business to ensure the quality of your service delivery, your client satisfaction, all comes down to how well you do your stuff, whatever it is that you deliver and get paid for. And common tasks when you're working in your business, such as client consultations, performing the services, those sorts of things, those are all working in your business type tasks. So, Hayley, what sort of things do you sort of classify as working in your business when you work day to day? Give some examples.
So I think for most people who are still in the technical phase of their business, which the podcast listeners are, like you say, doing the hair, setting up appointments, treating them, even, I suppose, would working on the business be your stock ordering?
I think that's more, that's a non-income producing task, really, isn't it?
It is. So it's more working on the business as such, but it's still something that you've got to, it's essential. But anything really that's customer facing, that's delivering that service, so anything that would really be part of the remit if you were employed, shall we say. I think that's another way of looking at it. If you just got a job doing the thing that you do, it's all those things. It's purely delivering the service, all the creative, wonderful things that we thought we were really brilliant at that led us down the little merry path to set up our own business. And then we found a load of other tasks that we don't want to do. So everything that you enjoy doing in your business is usually the definition of working in your business.
So one of the ways that I usually define it is at the end of finishing that task of whatever it is that you're doing, are you receiving some money from it? Are you actually getting paid for it? That would mean that you are actually working in your business, because at the end of you completing that task, someone is going to give you some money for it. If it's not payable at the end of it, if you're busy doing something inside your business and you're not getting financially remunerated for it, that would usually be a non-income producing task. And that would then be classified under the working on your business. So it's the stuff this often might seem boring, it's repetitive, it might seem a bit scary sometimes having to do some of those tasks or time consuming. But I think the idea of working on your business is the strategic activities at growing and improving your business as a whole. So there are a whole host of things. In fact, for some people, the majority or a lot of the stuff is actually non-income producing, but it's important that they do those tasks because that provides the framework for you to be able to actually deliver the service. But I think there is a balance to be had between them. So when you're working by yourself, you are wearing all the hats. If you are working completely solo, you're a single practitioner, then you are wearing all the hats in your business. So you will be doing everything from delivering the service to all of the other working on your business type tasks, which could be your social media, collecting your debts, making sure you get the cleaning done, your financials, your income and your expense tracking, your goal setting, sending out invoices to collect money, setting up your systems and processes, networking. That's a working on your business type task. When you have conversations with your accountant and other professionals, evaluating your business success, working with a coach or a mentor, setting up automations, those sorts of things, those are all non-income producing tasks. And it sounds like there's a lot there, actually. It sounds like the nice stuff is the working with your clients. And I think when you set up your business, it's that client interface that lights you up. That's the bit that's your why. That's your starting your business because you want to deliver and give that service to your clients. So I think it's important. This first part of the podcast is just talking about the differences between working on your business and in your business. And I just think that you need to be aware initially just that there are two different aspects of your business, because for a lot of people, this might be a new concept that they are, whether they're working in their business or on their business. And so in your experience, Hayley, then give us a list of few of the things that might be working on your business that are non-income producing. What sort of things could they be?
There's two different types, really. So there's like I mentioned earlier with the stock and things like that, replenishing stock, getting repairs done, the maintenance of your building or your studio or your equipment, researching things, looking at things that are directly in line with delivering the service. So your admin, your chasing payments, your banking, your reconciling your banks, using your Pocket PA or your software systems, all these sorts of things. It's all working on your business. There's also another little element of working on your business, which is part of your business growth, your learnings, your education, upskilling yourself, working with a mentor or a coach. You've also, or reading even a book, it doesn't have to be working with someone external. This is also working on your business. So your personal business development is also working on your business. So actually, I split that division into two parts because there's the direct firefighting stuff, shall we say, that is reactive. You've got to do it to keep your business mode working. It's like the cogs. It's like the machine behind the smiles and the here we're doing a haircut and we're off and we're delivering the service, the entertainment. So there's almost like the front of house is the entertainment part of it, like you say, it's working in your business. Then you've got the cogs, the mechanics behind it to keep it going, and then you've got that, oh my God, I need to learn something to make all this easier, so there's you're just spinning so many plates.
So you're almost saying that the working on your business has got two aspects: the actual fundamental routine, mundane, day-to-day things which are just there to maintain your business.
Yes.
But then the other aspect of working on your business is the growth aspect. So perhaps where you're doing evaluation data dates with yourself to see how well your business is growing, and planning and the vision boarding and keeping yourself accountable and the steps that you're putting in place to actually grow your business. So I guess if you're maintaining your business and you're happy with the level that you're at, you probably don't need to do those extra steps of working on your business to grow it. But I think it's important that you recognize that there are two different areas then perhaps of working on your business: the day-to-day mundane maintenance phase of working on your business that you have to do regardless of whether you're sort of just staying at the same level or wanting to grow. I think most people have an ambition to grow their business and better themselves year on year, and I think for their own personal development, I think it's important that they have the aspect of growth and accountability and growing and dreaming, having dreams and plans for your business, because I think that's what gets us up in the mornings, to think that we're working towards something, doesn't it? I think there's very few people that actually want to stay static in their business. So that's interesting, that concept.
The thing is, as well, though, I mean, it's not just necessarily growth and you want all this money, but the thing is, as well, with the cost of living and in terms of our industries, they move at such a quick rate. If you aren't factoring in growth, you're actually falling behind. So you don't necessarily have to be going for huge growth. You just have to be trying to keep abreast of the new things that are coming in, which, is still growth, but it's essential growth to make sure that you're still staying current. So I think you really do really need to dip your toe in that water of growth, definitely. Otherwise, you can find that your business actually gets smaller each year. So, to be attracting the new clients, if you've got somebody down the road who's learning a new service or learned a new skill and you haven't had that time to research what it is, which is working on your business, you're going to lag behind, or you've not learned the new social media thing. Again, you're going to lag behind. So you're going to have to keep up with a certain element of it. And I think that's why so many businesses do fail, in the first few years, because it is so difficult to do all of the things. Because the most important, number one thing, deliver the service, get the money in. That is essential for keeping going. Then number two is get the stock, put the fuel in the engine to keep it going, to work on the business, do the essential firefighting stuff. And then you've got to do that, like you say, split it into two elements is that third one. And this is why so many business owners run out of steam by the time they get to that third part where they're growing and keeping up with the competition and doing all the things. Absolutely exhausted.
Yeah, I think it's important to have that balance,
Yeah.
isn't it, of both roles? Because if you are just only customer facing, then all of those maintenance tasks to that sort of back office, when there's only you, those are all going to get left by the wayside. And you can't possibly run an efficient business and for it to be sustainable if you don't have an extra pair of hands or systems and processes in place to be able to support that level of customer facing time. So if you are spending 90% of your time in your business hours seeing customers and creating the revenue and earning the money, it's likely, not always in every case, but it's likely that you're neglecting or you're not having time or you're feeling very thin on the ground with being able to catch up and do all of those things, those back office things which need to be in place in order for you to be able to support the delivery at that high level, to be earning all of that money. And you'll probably be then at a place where you've either got to get somebody else in and then be starting to pay a salary, or outsourcing, or having to, pay an amount of that money away to someone else to be able to support you, to be able to continue earning at that level. Or you need to just take some time out and actually sit back and think, right, what do I need to be putting in place to automate, to have systems and processes within my business? But then you will need to invest an amount of time, hopefully a small amount of time, to get those systems up and running. But it's investing in yourself and doing something once to hopefully help make things much easier for you to be able to continue on that sustained level of delivering that level of service, or to have that element of growth that you were just talking about. And so I think sometimes, because we start our business because we're so intent on the service delivery, we kind of think that those working on your business are the things that don't light you up. And they're not the things that you enjoy doing. And they're sort of just, oh God, that isn't what I started my business for. There's just too much paperwork. There's too much stuff, the bits that I don't like doing. And you want to do them in the fastest amount of time, and, have the easiest way to get those things done. But I think we need to have a look at what those actual working on your business tasks are, and realize that without those things, there are lots of technology things that can actually make your life easier, that, as you mentioned earlier, working smarter, not harder. We should be leveraging and getting tech to do the heavy lifting in our business, particularly if we're working by ourselves. It's not a waste of time or money to use systems to work smarter. It's a great idea to automate things so that you're not spending your precious time on evenings and weekends messaging clients or coordinating bookings and that sort of thing. What about using an online booking system to actually free up your time? Yes, you have to invest the initial time to get it set up, but once it's working, it's a game changer for so many people. What about setting it up so that you can take deposit payments, so you're not endlessly going backwards and forwards checking your bank statement and online statements to check whether somebody's paid that deposit? Just automatically set your online booking system up so they have to pay an appointment deposit when they're booking their time with you. So it's about looking and seeing what's available, thinking how you can work smarter, not harder. And if you can't self-motivate or keep yourself accountable, it's actually an investment to take on a coach or a mentor and spending that time to be working on your business so that they're hand holding you and working alongside you. And I'm sure, probably from the work that you've done, Hayley, do you see a direct correlation when people start to invest and spend time on their business? Does that increase their profits?
Absolutely. Not only with my clients, but also myself as well. When I first started working with a coach, I increased my business by 80,000 that year, which is an incredible amount. And I was, I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. And I was so pleased. And then I got to a point where I could only get so far with a coach. So a lot of people hear the words coach and mentors being thrown around everywhere. And sometimes it can be a bit tricky knowing the difference. So a coach is somebody who kind of sits with you and coaches you, and they want you to find the answers from within. So they coach it out of you. And see the potential in you, which is great. And that was fantastic for a short while. But then after a bit, I'd got as far as I could go with just me and what I knew. So the difference with a mentor is it's somebody who's been there before, somebody who's learned the things. So it doesn't have to be someone who's miles and miles and miles ahead of you. It can be just somebody who's, a couple of years ahead of you, or has got something that you aspire to. And it's almost like going, hey, I see you. You have what I want. You have the life that I want. Tell me how you did it. So essentially, people pay me for me to say, look, I've made all these mistakes. Don't waste your time doing that. Don't waste your time doing that. This is the simplest and easiest way that I've found to get from A to B, essentially. And I sit with it and keep you on track and cheer you on. And I'm like your biggest cheerleader. So, and I think with anything, whether you see kids at school with a sports coach or, a sports mentor or something like that, whoever, if you've got somebody who's not only cheering you on, because I know me personally, when I'm at home, I haven't got, my mum's not interested. My husband would rather boil his own head than listen to me talking about business. I literally have nobody to talk to. Nobody. So I essentially went out there and hired a business best friend who would help me and coach me to get somewhere, and somebody who wouldn't switch off when I was talking to them about these things. Because business to people who aren't in business is bloody boring. Let's face it, it's absolutely boring. So yeah, sorry, I've gone off on a tangent there, but yeah, for me, I have to go and hire somebody to listen to me talking about business, basically. It's almost like hiring a bit of a boss as well. Like when you've been freelance a long time, if I'm going to sit in my pajamas and watch Netflix all day, because I work on the business mainly now rather than in it, I absolutely can. I mean, that's not going to do anything for my team. That's not going to do anything for my business. But to stay motivated for a number of years, you can sometimes run out of puff. So, you've got someone who can cheer you along. So, yeah, there's definitely a direct correlation between if you're investing on yourself and working on your business, you will normally notice that your profits will go up. Your mental health will be in a better position. You aren't constantly searching the internet at night trying to figure out what the thing is, because there's somebody there who can just say, hey, here's the thing. And I think it's really, really powerful, especially with the internet. We're so lucky nowadays because there is an abundance of information out there. So you can definitely, whether you want to invest or you want to get free information, there is so much out there, and it will absolutely skyrocket your business.
I love that comparison that you're paying somebody to talk about your business. I think that's the reason that I sometimes have a therapist, because I want to pay someone just to listen to all my problems. I don't want to bore my friends with them. So I'm paying you to listen to me whinge and moan about all the stuff that's not going right in my life. But yeah, they're paid to do those tasks. And I think, having that person that's invested in your business and an online in that capacity, I think there's huge merit to that sort of thing. But the last part of what I wanted to talk about, working on your business, and this will be of interest to a lot of our listeners, I know, apart from your systems and processes that I think is imperative that you set up, I think it's important to have resources that you can draw on for your own growth and development, and they don't have to be expensive. They can a lot of them are free. I certainly use a lot of free resources when I'm working on my business. So these are things like reading, just books and stuff. They're a very affordable way for you to get an awful lot of knowledge at a very low cost. Whether it's an actual physical book, which might be, $10.99, or whether it's an ebook, which you can often pick up for, a couple of quid or 99p on the day that they come out. They are huge sources of ways that you can work on your business and get a lot of knowledge and help your growth. The other aspect I use a lot is podcasts. When I'm in the car or I'm on walks, out and about, it feels like a perfect time for me to be able to increase my knowledge, widen my skill sets and my thought processes, and learn something new. And I love all the different podcasts that there are. There are so many. There's something to suit everybody, whether it's self-development, whether it's about your niche and your industry, whether it's somebody just a few steps ahead of you. Again, that can really, really help bolster and that's working on your business. When you're listening to that podcast, you are working on your business. You're investing in yourself and your own knowledge base, that sort of thing. Going to workshops, making time for online courses. There are lots of lunch and learns things. A lot of them are free. I know with Enterprise Nation, they send me every week an email with their sort of lunch and learn type activities that are going on. You just literally need to just make some time in the day just to actually watch them, or you can actually catch up with them on catch up and watch them on a replay. You can go on courses focused on business development, leadership, entrepreneurship. I think my favorite book that I've read is that one by James Clear, The Atomic Habits, where he talks about the small things that you do each and every day that really build and grow to become remarkable changes in your business. Have you got any favorite books, Hayley? What have you read, or what's your way of sort of investing in yourself and working on your business with sort of free resources?
So I've read quite a lot of books. So my first book was a bit of a, sort of a light bulb moment for me, was The E-Myth by Michael E. Gerber. And I found that was really useful. And that talks a lot about the transition between working in your business and working on it, and the customer journey. So, and it's a really, really good book for people who are starting out in business and want to start getting their heads around systems and processes. So that was a really, really good book for me. I also really enjoy Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley and Alex Hormozi, the $1 Million Offer, which it seems like a big title there when you're only a small business or a one bam bam, but it's really good because it teaches you how to put offers together so that they're irresistible, so that people want to come and buy your thing. So I think that's a really good read for people. With regards to podcasts, I do listen to business podcasts, but I try and listen to things that are actually feed into my personal goals and more of my personal development. So sometimes I have an element of business in there, but that's actually part of one of my goals that I tend to stick with: ebooks and audiobooks for my learnings and my work goals. And then actually I factor in walking the dog whilst listening to a podcast, which develops me in a different way, in a more personal way. So going back to our other podcast about having personal goals and business goals. So that's how I separate the two for myself. It doesn't sound very much, does it? I'm rewarding myself with a podcast that's not about business.
I think that's lovely.
I mean, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, I love that E-Myth book as well. And I've been saying it all wrong. I've forever been calling him Michael E. Gerber. So thank you for correcting me on that. It's Gerber.
Who knows? I don't know. We'll find out, whatever his name is. I did wonder when I read it.
Gerber. Anyway, it's Gerber if you want to look into the E-Myth by Michael. We'll just call him Michael. Anyway, that's a fantastic wrap up. So I think hopefully Hayley and I have unpacked the difference between working in and working on your business. And I think we've hopefully provided a good cause for the importance of having a balance of both, by giving you some practical tips for balancing the roles. Certainly as a small self-employed business owner, you can get a much better understanding of how to effectively manage and grow your business by splitting things into these two aspects. So maybe spend the next week thinking about the differences and things that you do each week, and perhaps put it into a category and think, gosh, am I working in my business right now, or am I working on my business? And then perhaps get some perspective of how much of that time you are spending on your business, on those non-income producing tasks, but then evaluating how important they are to the actual overall smooth running. Or you might conversely think, gosh, all I'm doing is spending time working in my business. I actually need to have a better balance and be realizing that it's not a false economy to be taking a day out to catch up with working on your business with some of those tasks that we mentioned earlier. So yeah, just perhaps spend the next week just evaluating what you're up to. Anyway, whatever it is you are up to, I hope you have a really really good week. It's a goodbye from Hayley and myself, and have a wonderful week earning lots of lovely money with the least amount of stress. And we will catch up with you again very soon. Thank you so much for listening today to the Earn More, Stress Less podcast with me, Caro Sison, and my co-host, Hayley Hudson. If you've enjoyed this week's episode, then do hit subscribe so we can catch up again soon. And please kindly leave a review if you've got a moment, and share with anyone else that you think this podcast could help on their self-employed journey. If you're ready to make bigger breakthroughs in your business life and want to get way more organised and understand your finances the really simple way, then start your very own 14-day free trial today using the super powerful software tool Pocket PA that I made for my own son and daughter. Go to pocketpa.com/podcast and let's get you on the way to earning more money and stressing much less. Have a great week, whatever you're doing.